What's new around here, innkeeper?
There's trouble with demons in Old Cutner. There was a great tragedy one time in the mine near there. It's abandoned now. The ground collapsed, and a pit to hell opened up there.
There's talk that young Bruttons form a fight club in Horsham. Maybe they'll let you into their circle.
And then Smolka came by. She's the one who runs the bathhouse across the street. She said a fella came in, all restless and fidgety, saying he wanted a girl. That he wanted to take her somewhere else, and Smolka wouldn't have it. But when he offered to pay double, she agreed. You know how it is. These days, every groschen counts.
Was he a fucking pig?
If only that.
So what did he do?
The girl came running in all beaten up. Smolka couldn't get her to talk about what happened, but it wasn't pretty. I went to see her. The girl was all blue with bruises. Her knees blooded. Not a pretty sight.
Who was this fella?
The way Smolka described him to me, he must have come with Sigismund's army. Probably a deserter. I've seen a few of those around here.
Have you any idea where I could find him?
Rumour has it he's been sleeping in a shepherd's abandoned dugout, just outside the forest nearby.
I'll take care of him.
I'm glad to hear it. And don't spare him. A lot of scum is coming here, but enough is enough. When you're done with him, go to see Smolka at the bathhouse. She'll be glad to have one less thing to worry about. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper.
You're a bit done in, eh?
God! Quick! God! God!
Where do you think you're going? You better go before people start to think you're trying to steal.
The Lord be with you.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I heard you hold fights here, and I'd like to know more.
What would you like to know?
What fighters do you have here?
Stanley is the strongest. He works on the farm and's quite a big mouth on him, but he has the strength of 2 men. After him, Tuma, a farmer from across the way. He's quite a bit older than me, but don't let that fool ya. He has a steady hand and bloody good aim with it. And last and maybe least is Darling.
Darling?
He's kind of like the local buffoon. His name's Tobias, but everyone just calls him Darling. When he was a wee lad, he fell on his head from a rotting ladder, and he's never been the same since. He takes care of his aunt's horses and dogs in Grund.
He doesn't sound like an opponent to be feared.
Because he isn't. He's quite a lout, but he doesn't know the first thing about fighting. He hasn't won a single fight. But it's not that he doesn't try.
Where do your fights take place?
At old Chucha's.
And who might that be?
Chucho is our hog. We fight in his pen. He doesn't care. He always just hides in his pigsty.
I reckon I can find that.
I'm certain you can. Just follow your nose.
Can I get involved too?
Why not? It'll be good to have some new blood, and maybe you'll learn something from each other. Do you have any experience?
Well, I haven't won any tournaments here yet, but I've knocked a few people around.
Well, you'll see if that'll be enough.
And if I manage to beat them all?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Darling may be a bumbler, but Stanley and Tuma are no pushovers. Well, if you pull it off, you certainly won't come up short. Farewell, sir.
So, Tobias, do you enjoy fighting?
Do I know you?
I'm Henry. Young Bruthans told me you're learning to fight. How are you faring?
Well, it's not going so well.
You don't have to do it, you know. What do you get out of being beaten time and again?
I have to. I have to beat Stanley, so they'll leave me alone.
Sometimes it's best to explain things with your fists.
Only it's always me who gets the explanation.
Well, how about trying your luck against me?
Why not? Do you have any money? We can bet, and whoever wins gets everything.
That sounds good. I agree.
Get ready, then.
Come on, move your nails.
Give it all you got.
Greetings.
Good to see you, friend. I'm sorry.
So, I went to see my brother.
And?
Talk about the inheritance.
Well, I lost again.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. Oh, and this is yours. Take it all. Now you can challenge Tuma. I like him. He's funny and kind. Not like Stanley.
Am I transparent or what? Here I am.
Good day.
You look like a merry bloke. What do you like about the fights?
I'm a simple man. I like a good laugh and sometimes I like to punch someone.
That's it?
I swear. I do it because I enjoy it. That's not so strange, is it?
Shall we fight?
But of course. And before we get started, let's bet.
If you say so. Here you go.
Thanks very much. And now fight.
My granny can punch harder than
Gosh, I feel like I've been split in half.
Thanks for the fight.
Aye, you're welcome. I should be thanking the big man on the sky that I can still walk. Here, take it all and don't spend it at once.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
Well.
Why are you always picking on Tobias?
Just take a look at him. If he was any dumber, he'd be eating out of a trough with the pigs. Do you know he talks to animals? He talks to his mutts like they understand him. He'd be better off barking and pissing on the fence like them. But when we managed to get him drunk, now that's fun.
Tobias goes drinking with you?
No, but all you have to do is give him wine and tell him it's apple cider. A little of that and he's completely wasted. Then you should see the shit he gets up to. The last time that idiot almost drowned because he went to fish the moon out of the pond. We told him it was a silver platter.
Well, if you think that's fine entertainment, I'll stay out of it.
A good thing, too. You're not from around here, so keep your opinions to yourself.
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started.
You call that a granny can punch harder than you?
Give it Who wants to knock you on your ass? I'll piss in your face.
You call that a punch? Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Come on, move, you snail.
Oh, be bloody hell.
You snail. You call that a punch? Wipe the floor with him. Knock his teeth
Fuck
out.
you! Who wants to knock you on your ass? I'll piss in your face.
Going what for? My granny can punch harder than you. Give it all you got.
And that's what I call an opener. I'll paint you black and blue. Should I call you a priest? Or your ma?
That was a mean punch.
There, that's that.
You're good.
If you want a rematch, just let me know. I'm the best around here. What do you say to that? Well, do you feel up to it?
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started.
My sister could beat both of you with one hand behind her back.
Fucking hell! Do you have two left hands? Oh, boo bloody who? What's the matter? Does it hurt? Should I call you a priest? Or your ma? And that's what I call an opener. I'll paint you black and blue. Do you have two left hands? I'm all yours. Do you have two left hands? You're not up to it. I'll paint you black and blue. Should I call you a priest? Or your ma? Do you have two left hands?
I was wondering if you'd lend me your bollock when it's time to sow me to graves.
I need to plough too, you know.
What if you lent me the bollock on the Lord's Day?
And with you.
You're not going to plough on Sunday, are you?
No, and nor should you.
Except I don't have a bollock, and you won't lend me yours on any other day.
Go and see the priest first.
Sacre! I reckon I cut off more than I could chew. You really know how to fight.
Thanks for the fight.
Here's your bet, and a little on top. I don't like giving it up, but I keep my word. And don't forget to go and see Tomlin. His jaw's gonna drop when he hears some out of town and kicked all our asses.
I beat all your men.
Well, I'm jiggered. But I'm impressed. You're good. Here you go. We know how to appreciate a good fighter here. Not long ago, I heard the hired hands in Miskovitz spend the long hours away by fighting. You can go see for yourself if it's true.
That sounds quite good.
And in Kuttenberg, they fight in a tavern called the Hole in the Wall.
The name suits it perfectly. So don't expect to be treated kindly.
That sounds worse. Well, I'll see. Maybe I'll go there and take a look sometime.
Oh, by the way, Darling was looking for you. Go and see him. He'll be glad. See you later.
Do you need something of me?
Well, I wanted to ask you for something.
Pray tell. What's it about?
You wouldn't want to have another bout, would you?
Right now?
Well, yeah.
Why? I already beat you. And Tuma and Stanley, too.
Exactly. So I figured that if I beat you now, you'll still win overall. But if Stanley saw me beat someone that kicked his ass, maybe he'd leave me alone.
And do you think you'd stand a chance to beat me?
Well, that's just it. I'd need you to help me a little.
Look, wouldn't you rather learn how to fight properly? I'll be happy to train you.
I don't know if it's a good idea. Auntie says I'm a little slow.
Oh, you'll manage. Knocking someone's teeth out is actually pretty simple. And you've got the strength of 3 men. So there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
Well, all right. Oof, I can't anymore.
Me neither. Let's take a break.
Do you think I stand a chance against Stanley now?
Definitely a better chance than if you pretended to beat me, but still knew nothing. I'm not saying you'll beat him to a pulp now, but at least you should be able to hit back.
Thanks, Emery. You're a true friend.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you like horses or dogs?
Of course I do.
Me too. I knew right away you like animals. I can tell. Come see me in Grund sometime. I'll take care of the horses and hands, and I'll tell you all about them.
You said you could teach me something. Like what?
Well, I don't know much, but I do understand animals. That's for sure.
You take care of dogs and horses here, right?
Aye, they're my favourite. They're kind. They don't hurt you or curse you when you mess something up. And when you're sad, they look at you with those big eyes of theirs. They don't even need to say anything. Yet you feel better right away.
You see? I'm sure you know a few tricks.
Can I have a few groschen for my trouble?
Of course. Tit for tat.
Thanks. So, what do you want to know?
Sorry. I don't have anything to give you.
Maybe next time, then.
Whoa.
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You could stick your reason up your arse.
What's going on here?
As you can see, something slaughtered all these cows.
Not just something. It was that creature from hell. I saw with my own eyes how it fled back to its hole in the mine.
Give it a rest, would you?
I won't. What'll happen when that monster comes for us next?
Seems we've been fortunate running into you then, eh?
I'm Henry of Skalitz.
I'm Marion, the local priest. You look like someone who knows how to fight and isn't scared off all that easily. Just the kind of man for the job.
Tell me what happened from the beginning. What killed those cattle?
I was in my cottage when I heard such strange noises. It made my skin crawl. So I went out and saw this. And that beast what did it running away. How am I supposed to make a living now? These cows were my most treasured possessions.
What sort of strange noises did you hear? Can you describe them in some way?
It was like someone dragging chains along the ground. Neither men nor wolves make them kinds of noises. And demons carry chains so they can catch sinners with them. Everyone knows that.
And what about you? Did you hear it too?
Unfortunately, no. I was in the church when Vladimir sent for me, saying they'd found those carcasses.
Didn't you say you saw someone running away from here?
Not someone, but something. A monster from hell itself.
Just an old wives' tale.
I swear by all that's holy, the beast ran from here straight back to the old mine.
What did the beast look like?
I only saw it from afar. But before it got lost in the thicket, I saw its giant pointed snout.
Couldn't it have just been an animal? Maybe a wolf or a boar?
Can't you see my poor girls here? What kind of wolf would leave wounds like these? Oh, and the monster ran on 3 legs.
3 legs?
Aye, as sure as my name's Vladimir.
You mentioned a pit of hell. Is that located somewhere around here?
That's just a local fable.
It's no fable. In the days when silver was mined here, terrible misfortune took place in the mine. A pit to hell itself opened up there.
The mine shuttering fell apart and the gallery collapsed. That's all.
Shuttering my arse! It was a pit to hell! Shuttering don't just blow up on its own. But hell didn't scare good old Father Richard, so he set off into the tunnels and struck a deal with them demons. Ever since then, we brought food to the mine for them every second Sunday, and they leave us in peace in return.
Father Richard was a crackpot. You're lucky to finally have a normal priest here now.
A priest who forbade us from bringing the offerings, and now you can both see where that's got us.
Has anyone actually looked around in the mine?
Only old Father Richard. Nobody else has ever had the courage. The very mine shaft stinks like hell itself. So we only ever lower a bucket down with the offering, and then clear off quick.
After the cave-in, the miners left to work in Grund. Seems they'd no longer felt the vein was worth the trouble here.
When did all this happen?
It's got to be at least 5 years now.
And you've been taking food there ever since?
That's right. And nothing's ever happened until now, all because our new priest here forbade us from bringing offerings.
Where's Father Richard now?
He returned to his maker not long ago, and now I preach here in his place. The moment I caught word of that foolish superstition, I put a stop to any offerings.
And you can see what that caused.
It's only happenstance. This isn't the first, nor the last time that wolves dare to venture into town.
Vladimir's right. It doesn't look like it was the work of wolves. I don't know what could have done it, but wolves don't make those kind of wounds.
You hear that, Father? And that's coming from someone who's been out and seen the world.
Tell me something about yourselves, so I know who I have the honor of speaking to.
Like I said, I'm Marion, and I come to Old Kutna to preach.
Aren't you, a bit young for a preacher?
I finished my trivium at Prague University last year, and I wanted to continue. But my father decided I'd had enough education and found me a place in the order in Sedlets. So now I implement my theological learning in this lovely county as a preacher.
I'm Vladimir, the mine foreman. I'm the eldest of everyone here, and the people actually respect me, unlike our this here preacher from Prague. And them cows were mine.
This whole thing is very odd. How do you want me to help?
The massacre of those cattle is a horrible thing. But the heresy that's been tolerated here on account of the former priest is even worse.
Old Father Richard would chase you out of town, you stuffed frock.
Marion may be young, but he's still a priest, and he deserves a bit of respect.
Thank you, Henry. Since you're the only one here uninvolved, I'd like you to go into the old mine and discover the truth of this old wives' tale.
And while you're there, take some peace offering with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dare going.
What am I to do with you? All right. Henry, take their offering with you as well. You'll do just as those wretches did before you, and then wait to see if any demons show their faces or not.
Wait for demons? You want to send the poor fella to his death?
Don't listen to him, Henry. Faith and God will protect you, but before you go through the mine, we'll have a look around the village. Then we'll all meet at the entrance to the mine.
All right, I'll help you. But what about the offering?
A bit of food will do. Here you go. We always lowered the food down in a bucket. The main thing is not to go down the shaft yourself, lest you anger hell.
Don't be frightened. It's just an old shaft.
You'll find it to the west of here. The whole area's deserted and most of the entrances are blocked off. You go past the mine buildings until you reach the one that's collapsed to the ground. The mine entrance is next to it. Good luck, lad. You're going to need it.
God be with you.
Are you whistling just for fun? Huh?
Ja! Go! Go! Die!
Whoa! It really does smell like hell here. Might there be some truth to this?
Oh, Jesus. What a diabolical stink. Ugh. All right then. Let's see if we can't lure the devil out.
What the... Where am I? And where did all my things go? Jesus. What the fuck is going on here? This looks like some kind of contract. It must be important if he locked it away.
Who goes there? I am the shield of gods, demon. I am Taras.
Amicis diaboli libera nos domini! Vade Satana, humiliare suppotenti manu Dei, contra me sed fugi, invocato anubis sancto et terribili nomine, quem inferi tremunt. The Lord your God will send a hornet among us. So you live, demon. Not much longer. I'll festoon the walls with your gut. You won't get me. Terribilis virus. Sanctuario suo. I can see your blood, devil. This won't take long now. How are you still alive? Too slow! Just keep bleeding. Just keep bleeding. Just keep bleeding.
I'm feeling a bit peckish. Jesus. His helmet's completely stuck. I can't get it off. What's this? Did the knight write this? Christ. He went completely mad. I suppose it's good that he's dead. Ah, everything... Here, all right. More entries. Also written by the knight? God! How long has he been down here? I could go for something to eat now. So many corpses. This is where the mining accident must have happened. And that stink! Could there really be a gateway to hell here?
Henry, what happened down there?
A mad knight lived down in the mine. He must have completely lost his head and killed your cattle.
A knight? In the mine?
Where's he now?
He's dead. We fought, and I won. His name was Taras Mura. After the accident in the mine, Taras entered into a contract with Father Richard to guard the mine. He spent 5 whole years underground and watched over the pit of hell to ensure nothing ever came crawling out. The locals then brought him food in return.
We never knew anything about a contract.
Father Richard must have feared the locals wouldn't agree to such a thing. So he came up with the contract to guard the pit of hell.
It's true. Father Richard was the only one who knew about Taras.
So this whole time, we haven't been feeding demons, but a knight who was protecting us from them?
And everything was fine until I forbade you. I can't believe I'm to blame for the death of a good Christian. I'll never forgive myself for as long as I live.
Well, you couldn't have known. But it looks like you won't have anyone to punish for the slaughtered cattle.
If the knight was protecting us and now he's dead, what will happen to us now? Who'll protect us from hell?
I was down there, and believe me, that place really is a gateway to hell. If I were you, I'd continue with the offerings. Whatever's living down there, you don't want to anger it.
Oh, Henry, please.
You haven't been down there. But I have, and I saw it with my own eyes. If you have even the slightest chance to pacify hell, do it.
Damn fucking right. I've been saying as much from the very start.
I'll report this blasphemy to the monastery, and they'll see that justice is served.
Tell them whatever you like. Either way, you'll be seen as the fool in the end.
So be it. And you, Henry. You may be just as dull as this lot, but here's the reward you earned. Take it, and go with God. I'll put in a good word for you to the other priests in the region. Anthony of Vysoka and Hrosnata of Rabosh could both teach you something.
Thanks.